Okay, I'll get started. Thanks for showing up this morning. Going to do a meditation, so get comfortable, get in your meditation posture. I like to sit on the floor like I am here. Try to have a good posture. And this meditation is going to be for those who are new to mindfulness. So I'm going to talk a little bit more than I would for a general meditation. It's kind of gonna get you up to speed a little bit. So for this meditation, we're going to be following our breath, becoming fully aware of the experience of just breathing. The idea is to use your breath as the anchor for your present moment awareness. It's what you come back to anytime your mind wanders to thoughts. You just dismiss them and come back to an observation of your breath. Mindfulness is awareness of the present moment. Mindfulness meditation is just an exercise to build our capacity for present moment awareness. We take time practicing being in a pure, present being mode. The idea is there are two main mental modes: being mode and doing mode. Doing mode is the mode that most of us are in all the time. Anytime you're thinking about consequences into the future, recalling memories from the past, having a dialogue in your mind, planning a conversation with someone else, driving your car, working, coming up with a plan. All these things are part of doing mode. Being mode is when there's less articulated thoughts in your head. When you're in some way immersed in the moment. Now that can happen with a high stimuli activity, like snowboarding, rock climbing, swimming. A lot of times in kind of like blissful play or making love. You're wrapped up in the experience and you're in being mode. In mindfulness, we try to cultivate that capacity for being. But with a relatively low stimuli to be present with. Generally, it's the experience of the breath. So thank you for being here. Go ahead and get in a meditation posture if you want to follow along. Could be sitting down, could be laying down. For me, I like to sit on the floor like this. And just fully immerse yourself in the experience of the breath. Breathe in, breathe out. In, out. You want to be like a superconductor for being able to feel the experience of simply breathing. Breathe in through your nose. Deep breath. Breathe out through your mouth, relaxing. And become aware of all of the experiences that come along with that. From the air that's all around you, to passing by the rim of your nose, up into your nose, as you bring the breath in. Be a witness to those sensations. I feel a little cooling sensation in my nose as the breath comes in. Feel myself pull it down my throat. My chest expands and rises a bit. And my stomach. I breathe in. And the amazing complexity of my body. There are some automatic functions as I breathe. My ribs expand. Take a deep, slow breath in through my nose. Just let it out. Now, if any point in your mindfulness practice, you observe yourself in thoughts, that's okay. But the idea is to observe them. Some folks like to label them, to say, thinking, and just return to the breath. You can observe all the qualities of breathing. Every part of that experience, all at once. To fully feel all the dimensions of what it is to sit here in the present moment and just witness your breath. in, breathe out. In, out. Take a moment to thank yourself for giving this time as a gift to yourself. To give this mindfulness thing a try. To dedicate this time to cultivating your present moment awareness. Just simply breathing in and out. I like to simply light a candle during my meditations. Simply something to set my gaze on. Usually 6 feet or so out in front of me. I keep my posture dignified and shoulders back, chest out. Not straining to do this. Just aware of the sensations in my body throughout the meditation. Some discomfort will come up in the meditation. First, move your awareness to any discomfort you might be feeling. Fully embrace that discomfort and fully feel all the sensations. Be present in that discomfort. Be fully aware of it. And then, if you want to make an adjustment to let go of that discomfort, you can make that choice. So let's spend a little time just on the breath. Breathe in through your nose Breathe out. No judgment for our ability to stay in present moment awareness. If we observe ourselves getting lost in thought, simply reorient our awareness back to the experience of the breath, and come returning to the state of being, of present moment awareness. That state that kind of zeroes us out on a neutral baseline. When I'm diligent in my mindfulness habit, I notice that throughout my day, I have more awareness of my mental state, my thoughts, my intentions, my emotional state. It's because I started out in a familiar baseline place that morning. And I know that throughout my day, the breath is always with me, and I can simply return to it at any time and simply having more of an ability to observe your mental state does change it. Observation does have an impact. Without trying, without coming up with a plan or an intention or a judgment about how you want your mental landscape to be changed by mindfulness. I've noticed that the place to start is with observing. And then through observation, change does happen. And at first, when you start your meditation practice, it's easier to get started if you do a few things. One of them is to have a higher stimuli in your experience to be present with as the focus of your attention in order to be absorbed with it and to be present with it. Yoga is a movement-based mindfulness meditation. Those practitioners we like to joke, got tired of just sitting around, so they incorporated some movement into the meditation practice. That is a very good way to start. And if you do practice yoga and you weren't aware that you should be in a state of mindfulness while practicing it, then you can incorporate that intention into your practice. That would be good. You could simply walk around and be fully aware of the experience of simply taking steps, moving. As you can see here, I'm just rocking back and forth. I enjoy this as a little bit of a stretch and a nice rhythmic movement at some point in my meditation practice. Any simple movement that doesn't evoke thought can be something that you can observe the experience of as the focus for your state of mindfulness. And it is a little bit easier from a psychological perspective, how our brains are wired, to be in the present moment with a higher stimulus, right? Like if I'm doing a workout and I'm doing an overhead press and I'm lifting, 120 pounds, I'm not exactly planning my week in that moment. Kind of just lifting that weight and making sure I don't hurt myself. However, as your mindfulness practice matures and evolves, if it seems appropriate to you to lower that level of stimuli to something of stillness, to sit still and still be able to enter the state of present moment awareness, of simply being. Like a calm body of water on a crisp, windless day. Still. Free. And just like any exercise, you get stronger or faster. Your physical performance improves in some way. Jogging, your cardiovascular improves. Lifting weights your strength improves. Mindfulness is an exercise for strengthening the muscle, if you will, that allows us to come from thoughts, from doing mode, to being mode, present moment awareness. And you strengthen your capacity for that through your mindfulness practice. And there are many benefits to having an increased capacity to enter a state of being and to maintain a state of being. You become more aware of your thoughts, more aware of your emotions, and you can choose an alternative to return to a present moment awareness. And as you meditate, your capacity to do that, your ability, the strength of that muscle, that mechanism, increases. This, along with deliberately spending time in being mode, are where all the benefits of the mindfulness practice come from. Mindfulness meditation, a study has shown, is as effective at treating anxiety and depression as medications when they're prescribed to maintain your mood over the long term. Now, it's not as effective as treating those conditions when they're acute, when they're severe, major depressive disorder, or a severe anxiety disorder. Medications are better in those instances, according to this study. However, it is very clear that mindfulness does have a positive impact on anxiety and depression, and it helps to strengthen those neurological alternatives to certain mental modes, certain states of minds. That's part of the reason why I practice it. I need all the tools in my toolkit I can collect in order to be mentally well. So it's part of my self-care practice to incorporate a mindfulness, meditation practice, a habit. So always when you meditate, you have a choice for transitioning out of the meditation to come back into your world. And now that we've gone through the meditation, it's been 40 minutes of a little explanation, a little guided meditation, and some mindful moments. If you want to continue to meditate, you can end the stream here, stop watching the video, and continue to meditate on your own, because now I'm going to share a few thoughts with you. So one thing that has really benefited my meditation habit is my morning routine. And I constructed this system because it's not a goal. It's a target. I'll explain the important differences. I read James Clear's Atomic Habits, and imperfectly, but fairly more and more consistently, I've been adopting this morning routine system where I do the same things every single morning in this order right when I wake up. So every single morning I get out of bed and I brush my teeth, then I drink water, and then I do a 10-step body weight exercise. It's the one it went viral a few years ago, maybe like 5 years ago now. It's the 12-step scientific workout or 10-step scientific workout. I might have it on one of these cards. It's just body weight exercises, jumping jacks, wall sit, push-ups, sit-ups, squat, lunges, push-up and rotation, plank, side plank, high knees, running in place, step up, tricep dip. I think that's about everything. And then I eat breakfast, and then I shower, and then I meditate, and then I fill out a journal entry. So I do that every morning. And the goal, so in order to be consistent, I lowered the threshold of success. This is why it's a system and a target and not just a goal to complete this. On some mornings can be rough. And you don't want to punish yourself. You don't want this to become a negative, a source of a sense of failure or judgment or anything like that. Most of the time, I get up, I feel good, or maybe I don't feel so good, but I brush my teeth, I drink some water, I do the first few steps, and, the body weight exercise, I'm like, oh man, I don't want to do this, but I start doing it, I feel good, and I do the whole thing. And then I check it off, and I put this card in a stack. So here's my stack of cards so far. And the success is just filling out the card and writing them all down. If I get up in the morning, write the card, put it in the stack, and I don't do any of the things, that's still a success, because I want to get consistent doing something that I can definitely do every single morning. Write some things on an index card and move it from my desk to this stack over here, and do that every single day. And most of the days I do the whole morning routine. But if some days I can't, or I don't feel like it or something like that, I can still have a success by putting a card over here. And that way, it's self-compassionate, and it's a kind of a win no matter what. And the same thing with the body weight exercise. I don't have to, now when I work out, I make a distinction between exercise and a workout. Exercise, you're not pushing any limit, you're just doing a physical activity. A workout is I'm trying to, lift a certain amount of weights, certain rep, or I'm trying to run with a certain heart rate for as long as I can, or for a certain amount of time, or I'm going to jog for 20 minutes, or something like that. You try to push a limit. My body weight exercise, although sometimes I do end up pushing a limit, I do 1 minute and 3 seconds, and I increase the amount of seconds. Every couple of weeks I add a second on. And it's just to do that exercise for that 1 minute, and then I have up to a minute of rest. So it can take me up to 20 minutes to do that body weight exercise. But if I'm not feeling it, I can just do however many I want, and then I kind of just sit around until the timer goes off, or I move on. So that way, I tell myself there's no such thing as not doing it, because I can do one push-up and then just sit around for 10 minutes. So with that mentality, I always show up to do that exercise. And usually what happens, you see, it's a mind game, because if I had to tell myself, oh, I have to climb Mount Everest, I'm going to be like, man, I can't climb Mount Everest. Like, might as well give up now, type of a thing. But I can definitely do at least one push-up. And then what happens is I start doing push-ups, I get up to 5, and next thing you know, I'm pushing myself to my limit. Doing 30 in a minute or whatever it may be. So that's the body weight exercise portion of the routine. And it's just about building up consistency. I want to get to the point where before I even realize I'm awake, I'm halfway done with my morning routine. I want it to be so automatic that I feel uncomfortable if I don't do it. So just do it every single day, and then it just becomes part of who I am. It's part of my identity. What do I do when I get out of bed? Well, I do my morning routine system. And those, all of those things, putting all of my self-care and wellness activities right at the very beginning of my day. The highest priority, primacy, the first thing that I do, the most important thing that I do, and set that time aside for me. And I can wake up early and do this, and do it before work and other obligations, and that works well for me. Another thing I want to do, hold on right there. 2 things. So, I'm going to be doing this workbook again. Here, let's blow all this out. I just have a beeswax candle on a rock that I found on the side of the lake, and then on the rock is just on this disc, because this rock is a little coarse. I don't want to scratch any surface I put this on. That's all. Just my homemade candle holder. So I'm going to be doing this workbook and using it kind of as a guide for these meditation streams. So if you would like to follow along with me, I'm going to start on Monday with the Mindful Way workbook. You don't need it. You can basically follow along with me. It's not necessary. But if you wanted to follow along with this Mindful Way workbook, I'll give you a week to get it. So if you get this workbook by Monday, then we can do it together. And this is the Daily Stoic by Ryan Holiday. And it's Stoic meditations, short ideas for each day of the year. Let's see what today's is. March 17th. March 17th. The beauty of choice. You are not your body and hairstyle, but your capacity for choosing well. If your choices are beautiful, so too will you be. Epictetus, Discourses. It's that line in the movie Fight Club. You're not your job. You're not how much money you have in the bank. You're not the car you drive. You're not the contents of your wallet. Obviously, our friend Epictetus never saw that movie or read the book, but apparently the consumerism of the 1990s existed in ancient Rome too. It's easy to confuse the image we present to the world for who we actually are, especially when media messaging deliberately blurs that distinction. You might look beautiful today, but if that was the result of vain obsession in the mirror this morning, the Stoics would ask, are you actually beautiful? A body built from hard work is admirable. A body built to impress gym rats is not. That's what the Stoics urge us to consider. Not how things appear, but what effort, activity, and choices they are a result of. Again, the quote is, "You are not your body and hairstyle, but your capacity for choosing well. If your choices are beautiful, so too will you be." So with that, I'll let you go out into your world to make beautiful choices and thereby become beautiful. Thanks for being here with me. Have a great day.